Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I call this meeting to order. I'm going to ask that you stand and sing O Canada with us, and immediately after the singing of O Canada, we will have a moment of silence to remember all the community leaders, staff, and family members that have passed away over the previous year. O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all our sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Please be seated. Members of Council, announcements. Councillor Bates.
Thank you, Mayor Henry. At this time, too, I'd also like to remember the Muslim community and the people shot and killed in Quebec City on January 29th, 2017. It was a terrible time in that city and in the country, and I hope we never, ever see that again.
Thank you. Councillor Neal.
Yeah, we'd just like to mention that our Durham Regional Police did a sting operation around the schools and community zones, and by the looks of the statistics, they caught quite a few speeding and driving, texting, and everything like that. So when it's dark outside at 5:36 till 6 o'clock p.m. at night, I mean, you have to understand the crossing guards are there early in the morning and so on, and they're trying to help the children that across the street. So I just remind the public that those are pretty bad statistics for in front of our schools and community safety zones. And I know the police chief is here tonight, and I want to thank him for doing that, because I talked to quite a few crossing guards, and they stand in the middle of the road with a sign, and we do what we can to put them in fluorescent uniforms and lit signs and everything like this, but one mistake with distracted driving or something like that can be horrendous on someone like that's trying to help our children get to school. Thank you.
Councillor Sanders.
Yes, thank you. I'm just going to bring recognition to staff in regards to the free parking in the downtown, because Commissioner Diskey, I want to thank you and Brian Cox and your staff for providing the electronic signs so residents were aware that the free parking was occurring during the Christmas period. So thank you for that. The other thing is the BIA, they have 3 events in February. The one is a warm-up to Chile, and that's going to start on Saturday, February the 17th, and go till Saturday the 24th. And there'll be passports, and they'll be participating, and there'll be, when you go to one of the restaurants, and there'll be a passport, and you could just continue on all week if you want to have chili all week. A second one is hot root soup. That's going to, and this is to kick off the Black History Month, which is actually February, so everybody's aware, and that's to start with healthy eating. And that starts on February 26th and goes to March the 2nd. And that's to serve up vegetarian and vegan food, and it's to get back to our roots. The other event that the BIA has partnered with is the Community Builders event, which will happen on Family Day. And that's going to occur on February the 19th. It's going to start at 10 o'clock at the Tribute Community Center. And there's going to be petting zoos down. Everything's going to occur downtown within a 1-block radius. There's going to be magicians. There's going to be outdoor petting zoo and there'll be games outside, there'll be jumping castles, so there'll be a lot of events for the children. So hopefully everybody come down and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Pitterbecky?
Worship, just a quick reminder, February the 9th, the Second March has its fundraiser again. Of course, the money raised from this goes for educating the youngsters about the value of the beautiful Second March that we have the luxury of having in our community and so many people admire. So the tickets are $50 each. A dinner and dance starts at 6:30. Doors are open 6:30. Dance starts at 8:30. And if you just want to come to the dance, it's $25 each. It's for a real good cause. We have something we're very proud of down there in Second Marsh, and it does take a bit of support. So I'd ask all of you, if you can, to come on out and support this wonderful event in the city of Oshawa. Thank you.
Councillor Kerr?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A very happy occasion tonight. Normally I have to declare an interest on anything to do with the Sports Hall of Fame, but tonight I'm going to speak as a board member. We have something coming forward tonight. Will be the announcement of the 5 inductees into the Hall of Fame this year. And again, this year you will be absolutely astounded at the quality of the individuals coming forward. Every year, male, female, the odd team, it never amazes me, ceases to amaze me at the outstanding quality of the athletes and the sporting tradition we have in this city. And tonight will be no exception, but I'm not saying anything because I'm sworn to secrecy until we make the announcement. Thank you.
Councillor Carter?
First of all, good evening, Mr. Mayor, and Councillor Kerr, this comes as quite a surprise, I must say. And I'll just leave that because, as you know, I'm quite the athlete myself. That being said, yesterday at the Oshawa Executive Airport, we had our tours that were part of our commitment to the community. Just want to say a special thank you to Steve Wilcox and his team. The community did come out. We spent about 4 hours giving tours of the new runway, the berm, answered all the questions of the community. This is part of our outreach to the community. I just want to say a very special thank you. And like I say, Councillor Kerr, can't wait for the announcement. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening. Councillor McQuaid-England?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First off, a lot of women in the community have asked me to speak a little bit more about the Me Too campaign and some recent things that have taken place within the political climax. The things that what I want to share with you from Equal Voice is that part of the problem we have in politics, especially women in politics is based on relationships. So when women come forward with issues that they're having, it affects their relationships and their ability to do their job. Also, women are not usually considered for the purpose of these incidents as employees or are covered under any sort of legislation that helps them really come forward when these allegations are made and when issues take place. So I just want to let everyone know that you can make a difference in talking to the legislature and talking to the provincial, the federal government, to the municipal government about ensuring that we have proper protections in place and proper mechanisms in place so that women can come forward in a manner that is professional and respectable, and that they can be heard. Because without having these options available, many women stay silent, and that silence is then used against them if they ever have the brave enough ability to actually stand in the face of the problem that they're having. So I did want to recognize this. This is happening a lot. I know that there are a lot of men that are scared of the repercussions of this. But to the men in the audience, to the men in our community, if you're not silent, if you stand with women, if you are respectful, if you are in a position of power and you don't use that power to have undue influence over the women around you, you're the example of what we need, and you should never be afraid to be around women if you are confronted by these issues, because women do deserve a respectful and harassment-free environment. So again, I want to thank Equal Voice for everything that they're doing to try and change it at the provincial and federal level. I know our provincial MPP is here. I know that in the police they're working on some things right now to deal with sexual harassment and deal with diversity and bring more women on board. I do appreciate that as well, and I think it's the time that we need to talk about these things openly, and we need to ensure that not only are women heard, but there are proper processes in place beforehand so that it doesn't become a he said, she said incident, and we can actually take the issue at hand and deal with it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of council? Seeing none, we'll move on. Declarations of pecuniary interest. Okay, Councillor Carter?
Mr. Mayor, it's 44th report of Community Services Committee, item 3, CS-1803. This has to do with the BIA, and I'm a member and also a property owner in the downtown. Thank you, sir.
Councillor McQuaid-England?
Yes, just on correspondence from the Township of Uxbridge and the Ministry of Finance relating to cannabis. Myself, I do have shares and ownership within cannabis companies,
Which number is that?
18 and 13, under correspondence, I guess.
There is a 13, there is no 18.
I've got it on my agenda here. Is it not correspondence with?
Well, it's
Receive- it's
correspondence,
just for the-
receive and file.
it's
Got it.
receive and file.
Okay, thank you.
And the purpose is I do have stocks in cannabis companies. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Okay, Councillor Aker.
Yeah, just to be consistent, I'll make the same declaration on the correspondence number 3 as it concerns taxation of marijuana products, as my wife owns shares in publicly traded marijuana companies.
Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Worship. I'll make a declaration on correspondence request number 1 from the 1913 Ontario Regiment Army Cadet Corps, as I'm the honorary lieutenant colonel of the Ontario Regiment, and we sponsor that organization.
Thank you.